What is going on YouTube? Stormrider 116 here, coming at you out of San Diego, California. It has been a while since I've done one of these videos. I've been extremely busy, but now I'm back doing some moto vlogging, and here I am with my brand spanking new 2024 Harley-Davidson Lowrider ST. Yes, I did trade in the Indian Springfield Darkhorse, and I'm going to cut straight to the chase. Am I happy with it? Was it worth it? And the answer is absolutely yes. This bike suits me very well. It's perfect for the type of riding that I like to do. And not to knock the Indian Springfield Darkhorse, that was a great bike, but this bike is just right for me. And you know, of course, everything comes down to personal preference. So we're going to go ahead and jump on the road here. Going to talk about some of the things I like about this bike, compare it to the Indian Springfield Darkhorse, and we'll talk about some of the things that, you know, that I don't like. But other than that, I'm very happy. So let's go ahead and jump on the road and let's start riding. Everybody on the road here, and I gotta say it is a beautiful afternoon here in San Diego, and as a matter of fact, it is my birthday today, and yeah, happy birthday to me. I am 40 years old, so, or I should say 40 years young, and never felt better. But yeah, let's talk about this Harley Lowrider ST. As I mentioned earlier, I am absolutely happy with this bike, and I know the number one question is, why did I switch from Indian to Harley? And the number one reason is because 3 dealerships in SoCal closed recently, and which only left 1 dealership in the San Diego County area. Now, a few months ago, I had to take my Springfield in to get the clutch repaired, and it took about 2 weeks to bring my bike in. I've heard of people having to wait about 4 weeks just for an oil change, and so that's not really it's just really not a great sign, you know. Now, you know, those dealerships closing, I can't really say 100% why they closed, but you know, regardless of the reason, you know, when you only got 1 dealership in the area and you got to take your bike in, I don't really want to have to wait very long to get a service appointment and then have my bike looked at. Just yeah, it's just not really great for the consumer. But anyways, you know, I'm not going to knock Indians come out with great bikes. I've ridden, of course, the Springfield, the Scout, the Chieftain. Actually, I've ridden all their bikes, and they're all great platforms. But you know, when it comes down to comparison, you know, for me and the type of riding I like to do, the Lowrider ST is just a phenomenal bike. I mean, performance-wise, looks-wise, I think this bike is great for me, especially with the type of riding I like to do. I live in San Diego, so I do a lot of commuting. I got to do a lot of lane splitting, and with this bike, it's very nimble, and I'm able to weave it in and out of traffic, get into tight spaces. you know, compared to the Indian Springfield Darkhorse, it is a bigger bike, and you know, I was able to lane split with it, but I did have some close calls with that bike where I came really close to, you know, side swiping someone's car with the saddlebag. Never happened, but it did. I did come close. So, but yeah, you know, I do want to jump into a few things that I don't want to say I don't like, but a few things that, you know, I kind of had to get used to with this Harley Lowrider ST. And we'll start with the gauge. Now, the gauge itself is fine. The one thing that I didn't really like at first was the gear indicator. Now, it does have a gear indicator, but you have to release the clutch in order to be able to see what gear you're in. With the Indian Springfield Darkhorse, it didn't matter whether you had the gear, or, you know, if you had the clutch engaged or released, you were able to see what gear you were in, and that is, you know, it's definitely a convenience. But it's not a huge deal. It wasn't a deal breaker, obviously. You know, I ended up still getting the Lowrider ST, but it was just something I had to get used to. One other feature that I really liked about the Indian Springfield Darkhorse was the tire pressure monitor. You know, this bike doesn't have it, but the Indian did, and that was a good convenience. Now, again, not a deal breaker for this bike, but just something I had to get used to not having. But when it comes down to it, man, just the performance on the Harley Lowrider ST is, I mean, there's really no comparison. They are two different bikes, so, you know, one could argue that it's really not even fair to compare the two. But, you know, for me, you know, I'm just going from one bike to another, and I'm much more happier with this Lowrider ST. You know, ergonomically, I feel much better when I ride this bike. You know, I'm a lot more comfortable. My positioning, my hands, my shoulders, everything, much less fatigue compared to the Springfield Darkhorse. I was a bit more stretched out, had a wider wheelbase. This one, you know, I could ride this bike all day long and I won't be sore the next day. With the Indian Springfield Darkhorse, I would ride half a day and I'd feel sore the next day. So right then and there, you know, that when I noticed that told me this was, you know, the right bike for me. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're in the same position I'm in, and or I was in, and you're looking to switch to a Harley Lowrider ST from an Indian, I don't think you would be disappointed. You know, I'm 5'8", so for somebody my size, you know, the comfort of this bike is just perfect. Maybe if you're a bit taller, if you're over 6 feet, maybe it might not be as comfortable for you, and you'd want to go with the bagger, or maybe you would want to stick with something like a Springfield or a Chieftain or whatever. But this bike, as I said, is just perfect for me and the type of riding I like to do. All right, so would I ever consider going back to an Indian? And the answer to that question is yes, I certainly would. One of the bikes that I was looking at prior to picking up the Lowrider ST was the Indian Challenger. I do like a lot of the aftermarket stuff that you see out there. Some of the builds for the Indian Challenger that you'll see on social media. Some of the work that Jake from Barnstorm Cycles has done. Also Kerry Hart. A lot of those Indian Challengers that kind of have that West Coast club style look are pretty badass. So if I were to go back to Indian, I would get a Challenger and I would try to match one of those type of builds. But yeah, I'm the type of rider that whether it's Indian or Harley, I'm all about what's best for me in that moment. Right now, that's the Harley Lowrider ST. That could always change in the future. But you know, I've got to say I'm very happy with this bike. As I mentioned, you know, I get a great lean angle when I'm on the twisties. It's just a whole lot of fun on this bike. So let's go ahead and pull over. Let's do a quick walk around, kind of see some of the upgrades that I've made, and talk about some of the upgrades that I want to make in the future. All right, guys, there she is. Another look at the Harley Lowrider ST. With some of the upgrades that I've already made, I think she looks absolutely fantastic. We'll start with these thrash and risers that I had installed at the dealership. I think they look really good. And same with these Harley upgraded grips and the Harley upgraded pegs there. Also had this SDC saddleman installed. I think it looks awesome and it's very comfortable. I've been on several different touring bikes, tried different touring seats before, and man, this is up there with those touring seats. Very comfortable. I can ride all day long on that thing. And as you see here, I got a Fab 28 2-in-1. Not too much additional performance out of it, probably not really any, because I need to get a tune and an air cleaner, but it looks really badass and it has a very nice growl to it. So people definitely hear me coming, that's for sure. A couple upgrades I want to do in the future. Definitely the headlight. It'll either be a LP6 from Baja Designs or a Shark Demon. Kind of leaning more towards the LP6. I think it looks really nice, especially when it sits in that more recessed position. Another upgrade got to do are these turn signals. Got to get rid of those halogen turn signals. Same with the rear turn signals. Just kind of surprised that Harley never upgraded these to LEDs. I believe the 2025s have LEDs, but 2024 and prior just have the halogen lights. So these definitely got to go, but I'm not in a huge hurry to do additional upgrades. I think the bike looks really great as is, so not much of a hurry. I'm really enjoying the way it looks. Very excited to see what it looks like over time. But for now, man, I can't say that I'm disappointed or not happy, because I'm absolutely stoked. The way this bike looks, the way it performs, I'm just having a blast. It's just like a kid getting a new toy, So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and head down to my Instagram page as well. You can find me at StormRider116. Going to be doing some more additional videos in the future, some test rides, want to jump on some events and other organized rides as well. So hopefully you guys will come along the journey. And yeah, so guys, again, thank you very much for watching. Remember to be safe and always have fun.